Hi, I'm Paul.
Hi, I'm Dando.
And we are back to take you on a Bute Heritage Hunt. This episode, we'll be looking at transport.
And telling you the story of a hugely iconic but short-lived type of travel in particular.
Is it the highly imaginative Clyde hover ferries which ran in the 1960s?
No, though that would make a good episode. It's
Tramways! A tramway service in Bute was first suggested in 1878. The original idea, to run a line from Port Bannatyne through Rothesay and out to Carrickcroy, was hotly debated in the following months.
By 1881, a final route had been settled, and in April 1882, the Rothesay Tramways Limited opened a line which ran from here in Guildford Square all the way to Port Bannatyne.
It was the only fully operational public tramway on any Scottish island.
The first tram were open side trolleys drawn by horse and seated about 24 people at a time.
They originally ran on a single track with passing places to allow the trams to get past each other. You can see an example of that here on this old map.
Trams pass every 15 minutes from Guildford Square and from Port Bannatyne and cost £2 a journey.
The journey was supposed to last 30 minutes. However, because the tram driver and the horse only got a break between the end of one journey and the start of the next, the journeys were often much quicker. In the first full summer after the tramways opened, 211,500 people paid to use the tramways. By the next summer, the number of passengers had increased to over 250,000 full fare paying passengers.
The popularity of the trams continued, and by the turn of the century, it was clear that faster and larger trams could be introduced if the line was electrified.
In 1901, the company was bought over by the British Electric Tramway Company, and plans were made to extend the line and electrify it from Port Bannatyne to Ettrick Bay. Part of that change involved the redevelopment and expansion of this building, which was originally designed to house the stables and the sheds for the original horse-drawn trams.
In 1904, it was extensively redesigned to incorporate sheds for the new electric trams and a qualified generating station.
Unfortunately, the chimney for the generator belched smoke directly into a house which sat at the cliff above the buildings. The arguments rumbled on for weeks and weeks for that before ultimately the tramway company decided to solve them by buying the house of the gentleman that was affected. The new trams had enclosed seating at either end for 18 people and an open middle section which seated 32 people. 3 of the trams were stripped right back to form the famous Rothesay toast tracks, which were entirely open and became a tourist attraction in their own right.
To attract customers, the tramway company organised events such as sandcastle competitions and music events at Ettrick Bay and moonlight extensions to the bay at night.
By 1925, proved and comfortable petrol buses had arrived though, making anywhere with a road accessible for tourism and for profit.
In contrast, the by now old-fashioned tram system could only travel along a fixed line, and increasingly trams became an obstruct on busier roads.
The last official tram left from Guildford Square almost 84 years to the very day that we are filming this episode, on Wednesday, September the 30th, 1936. If you look hard enough, the remains of the tramway system can still be seen today. This cutting is where the tram began the journey to Ettrick Bay.
And the line of the modern walking path runs mostly along the line of the old tramway.
So why don't you get out and about and explore the line of the old tramway from Rothesay to Ettrick Bay? And let us know what you see along the way on our new Bute Heritage Hunt Facebook page.
If you have any stories about the tramway, we'd love you to share them there too.
So keep heritage hunting, and we'll see you next time for our very special Halloween episode of Bute Heritage Hunt.
Welcome to the Zander Files. With many men away at the front, women were employed as tram drivers between 1914 and 1918. This resulted in tram cars that still had open cabs being closed to protect the new drivers from the elements. The estimated cost of the extension to Ettrick Bay in 1905 was £15,767, over £1.9 million in today's money. During the First World War, a poem was composed about the local tramwaymen who had enlisted, which went like this: when our tramwaymen meet the German bunch, it's not any ticket they'll want to punch. They'll hand out a bullet for charge instead and ask for a punch at the Kaiser's head. When a tramway driver overtakes his foe, no brake he'll put on, but just let himself go. The German will cursed his unlucky stars when he thinks he's got hit by a tramway car.